When you're knitting a pattern, sometimes you run into a large stretch of one color, which would leave a very long float on the back. And long floats are usually not desirable because they can cause the stitches on the front to look loose and sloppy, and also because you can catch your fingers and other things inside when you're putting on a garment that has long floats. So a lot of times what we do is we weave in the threads, or we catch the yarns as we're knitting, so that the float is not as long and it's actually caught in the middle of the float. So let's look at what that looks like. So here I'm knitting with 2 hands, and if I have 6 stitches in one color, and I just knit all those stitches in that one color, now this green has to float a long way across all those stitches, and it will end up looking like a big, oops, I have to go through the stitch. It will look like a big float on the back, and that's not so attractive. And like I said, you can get fingers and other things caught in those long floats. So to alleviate that long float, instead what we're going to do is we're going to catch the yarns right here in the middle so that the float will be caught up in the other floats on the back, in the other yarns on the back, so that the float is essentially only a 3-stitch and 3-stitch float instead of a 6-stitch float. So let's look at how you can do that without dropping your yarns and twisting the yarns, how you can do it on the fly. We'll take these stitches out. So now I just have 3 red stitches on the needle. Oops, that's 4. Here's 3. Okay, so I have 3 red stitches on the needle, and now I want to catch my green. I don't want to make a green stitch, I just want to catch the threads. So in order to do this two-handed, if you're catching the color that's in your right hand, here's the method. So the color in my right hand is the green, and we're going to catch the green. So to do that, I go around the needle as if to make a stitch. Then I bring the red around the needle as if to make a stitch. And then I take the green back off and go ahead and knit the red through. And then when I knit the next red stitch, that has caught the green in the yarn on the back. So once again, I want to catch the green, so I'm going to go around the needle as if to make a stitch, then bring the red around as if to make a stitch, and bring the green back off. That's how you catch the float if you're trying to catch the color that you're working in your right hand. Now let's say you have a long stretch of color for the color that's in your right hand, and you want to catch the color that's in your left hand. So here I have 3 greens, and now I want to catch the red in my left hand without letting go. So I go into the stitch as if to knit, and this time I'm going to bring the red around the needle in the opposite direction. So normally when I knit continental, I scoop the needle around underneath and pull it through. But for this method, you're going to bring the yarn over the needle, bring your right hand around to make a stitch, and then just take that color back off. Take your left color back off, and now you can knit your right color. Again, if I were going to do it here, I would bring my left hand color over the needle, bring my right hand color around as if to knit, and then take my left hand color back off. Now it looks like I didn't catch this color, But when I knit the next stitch, I've now caught that color into the stitch. So with this, it's a 2-stitch operation. First let's do a couple of the green. So first you bring your left-hand color over the needle, bring your right-hand color around as if to make a normal stitch, and now bring the left-hand color back off and make the stitch normally. And on your second stitch, you'll catch that color.